We have now wrapped up round 2 after a sensational day 2. This round delivered a host of new contenders to the stage, and we had 2 matches come down to 1 vote in the last hour of voting. Before we break it all down though, let's list off those winners.
Having dumb cold water in your mouth when you find a childhood YouTube video, gushers, pizza rolls, a very smooth pebble, using your turn signal before turning, LeBron, no homework, Paul, the name, Jay from Lego Ninjago, Landon's dog video, a paycheck after 2 40-hour work weeks, Pete, Ted, Paul Rubio, waking up at 3 a.m. and drinking water, inserting a USB correctly, Summer Nights, Joey, Razor Electric Mini Bike, Elias, Food, The Indomitable Human Spirit, Sean Asgarali, Pizza, Alexander Hamilton, a medium well-done steak, a good nectarine, boobs.
You may have noticed I did not mention the winners of the 2 heated matchups because let's just say I called it Frederick Douglass versus Sex and Christmas versus Lego Star Wars were the blockbusters of this round. But I did not for the life of me think it would even be this close. Christmas and Lego Star Wars were neck and neck throughout the entire first day. I figured in this contest that one of them would pull like a 5-vote lead, but it was a genuine like vote for vote matchup. However, Lego Star Wars started to hold a consistent 3-point lead going into the evening, and Christmas could not seem to break it. I wasn't even thinking about Frederick Douglass and Sex by this point. Obviously, it's like a wild matchup, so I was paying attention to it, but Frederick Douglass pretty much held an 8 to 10 vote lead throughout day 1. It came down a little bit in the evening, but I didn't think much of it. By the time I went to sleep, I pretty much thought he had it. But this morning, when I woke up, Sex had a 1-point lead, and Christmas and Lego Star Wars were tied. Guys, I was glued to these polls pretty much all morning. Like, I even saw Fantastic Four, and the first thing I did when the movie finished was I got on my phone and I checked them again. But by noon, both polls were tied, and nothing was moving. We were in gridlock. I honestly thought we were going to overtime. But with an hour to go, a final vote was cast for both Frederick Douglass and Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga for the Wii, sealing victory for both. These are the matches the tournament is meant for. Shout out to Frederick Douglass for pulling this one out. Obviously, Sex is more than just pleasure of the flesh, but it was cool to see people come out for an American icon, a huge abolitionist. I'll admit I was surprised to see Lego Star Wars come out this strong as well, but thinking about it, it makes sense. It's a cultural force in its own right, integral to a lot of 2000s childhoods. It's one of those things like Wii Sports where like everyone you know has played it. I'm a huge Christmas guy, but I also recognize that it's a holiday and a time of the year that can be really stressful too, especially as you grow up and take on more responsibility. Either way, this was a landmark matchup, and Lego Star Wars proved that it is a legit title contender. Like, it's up there. Briefly talking about everything else, day 1 was pretty much all blowouts. One matchup of note though was using your turn signal before turning and its victory over Cheese. This was a surprise win to me, especially as it wasn't close. I thought Cheese would have a strong showing in this one, but it feels good to see Safe driving get a win. I was disappointed to see Elliot go out against Ted, both because Elliot is a great friend and because I don't love that a teddy bear that is drinking and having sex did that well. Outside of the marquee matchups of day 2, we had a few semi-competitive polls decided by less than 10 votes. Luke went down against the Razor Electric Mini Bike in one of them, in what I consider to be a big upset, and also disappointing that we lost Luke and Elliot because I'm really one of the real people to keep going in those rounds. I think they keep it fun and competitive, and it gives you like a real life element. We had a good Nectarine get a well-fought win over Red from Angry Birds. That's one that I like sort of had my eye on at one point, but it was decided. Before we move on, some little statistics. Joey netted the most votes this round with 82 in a victory over the name Carl, so we're very proud of him here at home. And sadly, Bulborb came in with the least with only 10 in a loss to a paycheck after 2 40-hour work weeks. So Bulborb is a second round exit after that kind of surprise stunning win over Beans, but he'll be remembered for that for sure. Now let's look ahead to round 3. Things are tightening up. It's a stronger field and the choices are getting harder. This will only be a 1-day round as it's 32 contestants remaining. That gives us 16 matches to choose from. It's manageable. I'll be honest, the most competitive matches are probably once again going to center around Frederick Douglass and Lego Star Wars as they face off against Summer Nights and Pizza respectively. But we've talked about them a lot. Let's go over some competitors that haven't gotten the spotlight as much instead. Joey is proving to be a force in the tournament, and I doubt that's going to change against Razor Electric Mini Bike. He could very well make it out of his quadrant, but it's not going to be easy. His path to victory would require possible wins against heavyweights like Frederick Douglass, Summer Nights, drinking water at 3 a.m. We're gonna have to see how far his flappy ears can take him against stronger competition. I'm also now very curious to see how far using your turn signal can go. That performance against Cheese caught me off guard, I'm not gonna lie. Assuming they can make it past a smooth pebble They could match up against LeBron if he can survive Ulm. That's going to be tough. There's some other contestants in that quadrant that are the more like abstract concepts that are pretty strong, but this one could go far. Lastly, Boobs came in and smothered a tournament within a tournament, that being March Madness. That's a pretty big win. I know I keep looking ahead here in this segment, but with the win against March Madness, I don't see a good Nectarine, I don't see a medium rare steak, and I don't see Alexander Hamilton stopping Boobs. So I think that could go on a run. That might be one to bet on for a Final Four appearance, but we just have to see. There are so many other contenders I want to talk about. The Indomitable Human Spirit made its debut as well, but at this stage in the tournament, there's only one way to get my attention: winning. So let's see how strong these contestants are. Will there be more blowouts? Will we go to overtime? I don't know. I don't decide. You do. So show me. Because the tournament is just getting started.